Hi students, today we are going to discuss the first chapter named as ray optics. The topics which we are going to cover in this chapter are reflection of light from plane surfaces, reflection of light from curved surfaces, refraction of light through plane surfaces, refraction of light through curved surfaces, optical instruments. In this, first we will cover this subtopic number 1, that is reflection of light from plane surfaces. Before we are going to discuss about this reflection, we cover some basic concepts whatever we studied at school level, okay, which are very important. So in the first part of this, in this first part we cover the introduction, okay, about light. We see many objects around us and this beautiful colorful world around us in our day-to-day life. In fact, what all we see are the gift of nature. Have you ever thought about what makes all these objects and this beautiful colorful world makes visible for us? Yes. If you think, it is the light energy which makes the objects around us visible. Now the question is how? Yes. When you enter into a dark room, can you see the objects around you? Definitely no. Why? There is no light. So the moment when you switch on the light, you see everything around you. So how is it possible? The moment when you switch on the light source produces the light so that it falls on the objects and the surfaces of your surrounding objects reflect the light and that light enters your eye so that it would be detected by the retina of your eye and finally it produces the sensation of sight. That is how you see the objects around you. So what we conclude here, we cannot imagine the world without light. So it's very important to study the light and its properties and the various phenomena that which is shown by the light. So the study of light and its properties is technically called as optics. So this optics is the branch of physics, okay, which deals with the study of light. So here we study this optics by categorizing this optics into two types. One is ray optics and the second type is wave optics. We will study this wave optics later. First, we study ray optics. Right. So, in ray optics, we consider the propagation of the light with a ray. We represent the direction of propagation of light from the source to the surroundings with the help of a ray. Now you can ask me here why? Why should we represent the path of the light with a ray? So let us discuss. According to modern theory of light called as quantum theory of light, according to quantum theory of light, light has both wave nature as well as particle nature. It shows both wave nature and as well as particle nature. Let us see the figure. It shows both particle nature as well as, this is how the wave looks like. But in ray optics we study the properties reflection and refraction. For explaining them, we consider the particle nature of the light for explaining the concepts reflection and refraction. Okay. So let us see, as it has the wave nature according to this quantum theory. So it is characterized by this wave, this light wave characterized by the properties wavelength lambda. It is commonly denoted by the Greek letter lambda, and frequency, it is commonly denoted by the Greek letter mu, and speed, and it is commonly denoted by the small letter v. Intensity, it is commonly denoted by the capital letter I. So the highest point of this wave, okay, what is the wave? You studied in your 9th class that wave is actually the pattern of disturbance which carries the energy from source of light to the surroundings, and this is the pattern how looks like. It looks like the sinusoidal function, right? So this highest point of the wave we call it as crest, and this lowest point of the wave we call it as trough. Now let us define the quantity wavelength. Wavelength is the distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs. This is one trough, this is another trough which is adjacent to it, and distance between any two consecutive crest or two consecutive trough is called as wavelength lambda. And what is frequency? The number of waves that are produced by the light source per second, right? That is what we call frequency. Please do remember, this frequency only depends upon the light source. It does not be affected by the surroundings medium. It does not depend upon the surroundings medium. So for a given light source, energy source, frequency is constant. Also, the wavelength of the light wave is constant as soon as it is traveling in a particular medium. For example, if it is traveling in an air medium, wavelength is constant. Even after the reflection, we will discuss that later. For example, there is an object, is the air medium, light has come in the form of wave. After the incidence, some portion of light energy will be absorbed, some portion of light energy transmitted in different direction, and some portion of light energy is bounced back in and travels into the same medium. What I am saying here, as soon as the light is traveling in any one particular homogeneous medium, even after the striking on the object, even after the light wave striking on the object, there is no change in the wavelength. Then when does the wavelength of the light change? When it changes the medium. For example, if light travels from air medium to glass medium, when the medium changes, obviously wavelength also changes. Okay? So wavelength is also constant when light travels in a homogeneous medium. Homogeneous. So, this is about frequency. And coming to speed, speed is the property which measures the amount of distance covered per unit time. Okay. So, the speed of the wave is always directly proportional to wavelength lambda. If the wavelength of the light is more, speed is also more. And if you remove this proportionality constant, you will get V equal to C into lambda. V equal to C into lambda. Right? So, then what is intensity? Intensity is the amount of light energy passing per unit area, that is called intensity. Now, here the question is, let us come up with the question which we posed on us. What is that? Why do we show the path of the light with a ray instead of wave? See, further let us consider an object. It has particular dimension, arbitrary shape. Here the light wave is hitting this object at this point A, and it has certain wavelength lambda. So, if the wavelength of this wave is far less than the dimensions of the object, then it seems to be a straight line. If this wavelength of the light wave is far less than dimensions of object, if wavelength of the light wave which is incidenting on this object is very less as compared to the dimensions of the object, then it seems to be a straight line, and we show the path of the light in which it travels by a straight line and an arrow. Arrow points always in the direction of energy propagation, right? So, this study of light by considering its path by a ray is called ray optics. So, in ray optics, wavelength, frequency, speed are kept constant. In ray optics, as soon as you consider the reflection and reflection phenomena, all these wavelength, frequency, speed are kept constant, but intensity changes, right? Okay, let us continue our discussion on this topic, ray optics. So, what is ray optics? The study of light by considering its path, a ray, is called ray optics, right? Let us see some basic definitions, okay, right. So, light beam okay, a bunch of light rays that are coming from light source to the surroundings, which travel from light source to the surroundings, is called the light beam. And this light beam is classified into 3 types. The first one is parallel light beam. What is light beam? The bundle of light rays together that proceed from light source to the surroundings. And what is the parallel light beam? So, parallel light beam is also the collection of light rays which travel parallel to each other. As they proceed forward, the distance between among the rays is kept constant. And the second type of light beam is convergent light beam. So, what is convergent light beam? The name itself here is suggesting that all the light rays converge at a point. The light rays which are coming from the light source as they proceed forward away from the light source, the distance between them increases and they meet at a point. Okay, this is the convergent light beam. And the third type of light beam is divergent light beam. Divergent light beam. So, in this, the name itself here suggesting that the rays which are coming from the light source diverge, they move apart, and the distance between the rays will increase. See here. This is how the divergent beam look like. See here, as they proceed forward to the surroundings from the light source, the distance among the light rays will increase gradually, right? This is all about light beam and its types, okay? As we discussed, we see objects only when light enters from those into our eye from those objects. Some objects emit their own light. For example, a light source, tube light, flame of the candle, sun. These are the objects which emit their own light. But we do have other objects. For example, let us take the wall or this board. Does it emit its own light? No. When you place it in the dark room, it cannot emit its own light. It depends upon the primary source, that is sun or the tube light. But it reflects the light. Okay. So, in optics, the objects are mainly classified into two types. One is luminous objects. So, the objects which emit their own light are called luminous objects. And the second type is non-luminous objects. So, what are the luminous objects? These are the objects which emit their own light. Which emit their own light. Examples: sun, torch, tube light, etc. So, we do have other objects, those are called as non-luminous objects. These are the objects which do not emit their own light, but they reflect the light. When you look at the examples, wood, pen, this board, etc. Either object emit its own light or reflect the light. We see objects only when light enters into it, otherwise we cannot see. For example, the board is behind me. Can I see it? No, because the light from the board is not entering into my eye. I can see the objects only which are in front of me, because the light from those objects, whether they emit or they reflect or entering into my eye, that is why I see them, right? Okay. So there is another classification of the object. Let us see that classification. So before that, let us see what is medium. Medium is the substance in which light travels partially or completely. And this medium is mainly classified into three types. They are transparent medium, this is the medium in which light can pass easily and travels larger distances. When you look at the examples, the very best example is air. Air is the transparent medium in which light can travel a larger distance, and also the clear water, glass, etc. Let us see the second type of the medium, that is translucent medium. This is the medium in which light travels partially. When you look at the examples, oil paper and deep water, when light travels deeply in the water, its intensity will decrease. Okay. So oiled paper deep water are the best examples for translucent mediums in which light travel in them partially. And the third type of the medium is opaque medium. Opaque medium is the medium which cannot allow the light to travel through it. Example, our human body. Our skin does not allow the light to enter into the body. This board does not allow the light to travel through it. Wall, this chalk, right? Also mirror, plain mirror. See this plain mirror. This is the glass which is given with silver coating. This plain mirror is also a very good reflector. So it is also the opaque material which reflects the light completely. So the intensity of the light which is decreased by this mirror is 0. So intensity is also kept constant. So opaque, so we deal in this chapter ray optics in the study of reflection, that too. In the study of reflection of light from both plane and curved surfaces, we deal with this opaque material, opaque medium. Let me write this definition. It is the medium which does not allow the light energy to travel through it. Examples: wood, mirror, wall, etc. Right? So, students, we covered all the basic concepts related to the light in this first part of the reflection of light from plane surfaces. Okay? In the next part, we will cover the topics reflection. We will going to discuss what is reflection exactly, and we discuss about the nomenclature, which is very important. In fact, it is the language of reflection. And also we make the relation between the various angles. Okay.